Annyeonghaseyo everyone, Drama Cult is back with another review. Before getting into it, if you haven't subscribed to us already, please do. It's really simple. Look on the bottom right corner of the video. You will find a subscribe button. Just click on it. Check out our channel for more reviews and interesting content related to Asian dramas. If you like this video, click on the like button and share it with your friends. Leave your opinions in the comment section below. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook to take part in discussions with like-minded people. So, before moving on to the review, let's get into the review part. This is an in-depth analysis and so spoilers are unavoidable. Chapter 5 called Rapunzel and the Cursed Castle. Right off the bat, Moo Young and her mind. Everything from the way she thinks, her tactful approaches towards situations, to something as simple as her thirst comments towards Kangtae makes me wanna go, "You go girl," with pom-poms every single time. Externally, her character seems distant and cold, but internally she is so freaking relatable. We sympathize with her at the beginning, we then cheer her on, we feel angry for her, and then we feel hopeful for her. A roller coaster of emotions. That's what this episode was. This episode was perfect with all the right constituents in the right amounts. This episode showed Moo Young's emotions towards Kangtae starting to change from a mere obsession to a compassion. This was clear when she says he feels warm, which is a dialogue right out of her book Zombie Kid, and it reiterates that she considers herself the protagonist of the story, who is a monster devoid of emotions. I really felt glad when Kangtae addresses this and assures her that she is not so. The stories that she writes, which are said to be for children with strange themes, if you think about them and look beyond the story, they imply something that is really deep, which is based on the experiences from her life. All the strange characters are manifestations of herself according to her. This episode saw an otherwise independent and seemingly confident Moo Young let Kangtae take care of her. The scene where Kangtae opens up to Moo Young and says many a times he just puts on a happy face to make his brother happy even when he is troubled make me relate to him. I think at least some of us have done at some point in our lives to make our loved ones happy. The fact that Kangtae has been doing that since his childhood was the saddest part. Kangtae says he has become forgetful of his scars, the butterfly, and his brother like it's a bad thing, but this is actually him starting to live his life for himself. He always saw himself as a caregiver, which he was actually forced to become as a child and nothing more. He has really low self-worth and I really want to see him gain his individuality in the coming episodes. We get to see the real side of Juri. Her calm and polite demeanor is a facade for her manipulative nature. She is indeed two-faced, like Moo Young said. Every single chance she gets, she tries to paint Moo Young as a bad guy because she is prejudiced about what happened between them in the past. She has so much restraint in her emotions that it is scary. Remember the confrontation scene with the patient? The way she clenches her fist was a clear red flag. It is so sweet how Kangtae is so polite and nice to others while he yells at Moo Young, scolds her but also worries about her, cares for her and does everything that he does not do just for someone. While Juri recognizes it as something special, Moo Young does not. Juri realizes that she has some sort of win in the cat fight that they had, but Moo Young is gonna win the ultimate battle. It is great that the show writers addresses the fact that Kangtae knows the girl from his childhood is Moo Young early on in the show. This would help in creating more dynamic between the present selves of the lead. As I said in the previous episode, I do have a favorite quote in this episode as well. Moo Young says to Kangtae, "Your lies carry a sense of sincerity which makes me want to believe them," which clearly indicates that she sees right through him. There were so many iconic scenes in this episode, especially the comic ones. It is by far the funniest episode of the series. Kangtae's door kick scene was hilarious, so were the scenes involving Mr. Lee. I felt bad for him though. He really does not have an easy job. I would like to appreciate the connection that Moo Young draws between herself and Rapunzel. which lent to the theme of the episode, and also how she relates her story with Kang Tae to that of Romeo and Juliet. Yet again, I got to learn about new things like counter transference, auditory hallucination, and about what the daily life of a person with autism is like. I swear, if I'm quizzed about all the things that I learned from the show, I will score a 10 on 10. Moving on to chapter 6 called Bluebeard's Secret.
나랑 같이 살자.
여기가 우리 집이야. 여기 우리 집. 여기가 왜 우리 집이야? 왜 안 돼 내 거야.
강태야, 여태 살 수 있게 보살폈으면 할 수 있게 밀어주는 단계로 가.
안 돼. 이 조합 결사면 안 돼요. 네 자신도 통제 못해서 혹은 날 빵빵 터뜨린 애가 지금 누구를 껴안고 가겠다는 거야? 어?
오빠, 혹시 프랑스염이라고 알아?
Starting off with some food for thought. Is being different something to be afraid of? That is a question for viewers to ponder over. So, episode 6 was a really strong and emotional episode. It played a great part in progressing the story of Moo Young and Kang Tae. Moo Young is shown to slowly acknowledge the ghosts of her past that haunts her, and Kang Tae is beginning to understand that he too should have a life apart from his brother. The scene where Sang Tae says he belongs to himself was surely his wake-up call. Even his autistic brother prefers to have a life of his own. That moment when younger Kang Tae chose between his brother's life and his freedom was impactful. Kang Tae was just a child forced to fill the shoes of an adult. It is high time that present Kang Tae starts to truly live. Moo Young rightly asks him, "Will you let Sang Tae lock you down your entire life?" Acting by both Kim Soo Hyung and Jung Se during Sang Tae's meltdown scene has to be applauded. So I just want to address this. Some viewers were uncomfortable seeing Moo Young force Kang Tae to live with her, but I understand why she does what she does. She has never experienced or expressed love before. Forcefully taking everything that she desires is the only way she knows to express herself. The way Kang Tae and Sang Tae turned Moo Young's house into a home really warmed my heart. It was probably the first time that Moo Young experienced the simple pleasures of having a family. Somebody cooking for her, having breakfast together with them, etc. I am really looking forward to many more sweet domestic moments between them. I think the writers are gonna go ahead and let Jodie be a two-dimensional character. She is turning out to be, if you would excuse my language, a real crazy bitch, and I personally am not a big fan of this approach. Although I do not have positive feelings towards either Juri or her mother, the dynamic between them is refreshing, given how all the other parent figures were either absent or were terrible at being one. The methods employed by the hospital director to treat his patients is really unconventional, which is similar to how he is as a person. Same is the case where Moo Young uses different folk tales to talk about pieces of her life. It was the story of Bluebeard that she used in this episode, and she compares Bluebeard to her father. She reveals the childhood trauma that she had. This makes me wonder, what really happened with her family? Kang Tae, on the other hand, compares Bluebeard to Moo Young. He says she hid herself as she was different, and when she finds a person who understands her, she won't have to hide anymore. We got to see a slightly possessive side of Kang Tae as well, and it just made me smile. It is not just Moo Young who is possessive after all. It really felt good to see Moo Young sleep peacefully when she knows that Kang Tae is there to care for her. The more Moo Young's character is unveiled, the more my heart hurts for her. Later in the episode, she regresses after the incident with the patient, which brings back memories of her mother. Moo Young records the gruesome scenes of her mom's death in such vivid detail. It shows how engraved that image is in her mind and that she never got an opportunity to move on from it. That is the reason why she used destructive coping mechanisms to survive through her life. Again, the sleep paralysis scene in this episode was so powerful, but this time Kang Tae was actually there to comfort Moo Young. Thank God for him. Moo Young verbally asks Kang Tae to run away, but she clings onto his shirt like her life depends on it, and he understands it and holds on. This was one of the most touching scenes that I have ever seen in a K-drama. We got to see a different side of Moo Young here. She was scared for Kang Tae's safety, but at the same time she wanted him to save her from herself or from the ghost of her pasts. This scene was so intense that even the writers felt the need to lighten the mood with Sang Tae's version of Bluebeard, and that actually worked in relieving the tension. And so that's all for the review of episode 5 and 6. Let us know in the comment section below what you guys thought of the episodes. Please look forward to more reviews from our channel. Do subscribe to us. I'm sure you won't be disappointed. Go on, just click on the button on the bottom right corner of the video. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Bye.